Hey everyone, Melissa here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm showing you the process video for the layout that I made for case file 343 over at CSI. And the case file was very winter themed, and one of the pieces of evidence was to create a monochromatic layout. So in order to do this, I'm using my September 2020 HIP kit, and I was thrilled to be able to pick this kit back up because I hadn't made that many layouts beyond my design team layouts. So papers and collections included in this kit are Heidi Swap Old School, a little bit of it, that paper in particular. Also Maggie Holmes Marigold and Pink Fresh Studio Days of Splendor. So I just went through the kit, and the reason I selected this one is because it had those beautiful blues and grey tones in it, and it was going to work perfectly. It's a fall themed kit, but it had some snowflakes and winter icons in it as well. So here I've put gesso down on my background. I've used white gesso, and I've used a piece of basil in a dark grey. I quite like using cardstock for backgrounds every so often. I also like using pattern paper, so I've made a lot of white background layouts lately, and it was really fun to mix it up. So because it's monochromatic and I'm wanting to use up this kit, I decided to do lots of paper layers just to play on the beautiful blue colours. That wood grain piece is from close to my heart. If you've been watching my layouts or have seen my layouts lately for CSI, a lot of the evidence that I end up having to use is wood grain. So that pack is perfect. I think there's about 6 different types of wood grains, and you get 2 of each, and they're double-sided as well. So that one I've selected there just goes so well with this kit. And so I've got my layers. Did I distress the edges? Yeah, I distressed the edges. I've actually got the layout next to me because it's been such a long time since I looked at this one. This one was revealed on the 15th of January, so it's been out for a couple of weeks now. I think there's still a bit of time to play along, so if you head on over to the CSI Facebook group, you can learn more about playing along and sharing your layout, and I'll put the link below. So as always, I'm putting some craft foam to pop my photo and paper layers up. Thought I was going to use that cut apart, but it doesn't make it in the end. Now I've got this Lindy Stamp Game Magicals powder out, and I'm just wanting to add a little bit with the packaging technique. This is very subtle. It's slightly shimmery but more flat, but I think it still looks really beautiful on the background. So I'm just using my heat gun to dry it off. I love drying off watercolours and these magicals with my heat gun. It just seems to make the colour more vibrant or more shimmery. So now that I've done that, loving how that's looking, and yes, I did apply the gesso with my, what do you call it? The plastic tool that you use for card making. I used that because I couldn't find my palette knife. So now I'm using some Heidi Swap metallic texture paste. This came in a scrappery kit a few years ago, and it's still fine. It works really well. And I've put it through a stencil from, I think, December 2020 HIP kit, or maybe November, one of the two. Anyway, snowflakes on it, so perfect for the evidence that requires snowflakes. This is a piece of Maggie Holmes. It's a cut apart sheet with tags and I think a few labels. I love this one that says From the Heart because it's that navy blue as well, and it's going to help pull out the blue in Azaria's ribbon in her hair. And the photo is of Azaria and Ava. It snowed one day. It was the only day that it snowed right down to the ground, and it didn't even hang around for that long, but it was before school, and I just took a few photos of the girls out there in it. So these are all the embellishments that I have from the kit that I've pulled to potentially work for this layout. There's also some Pebbles, the Avenue collection in here as well. That's what those stickers were. So I'm just going through and seeing what will work. There's that beautiful navy blue bow from Marigold chipboard, and I think that's going to be perfect. And then on this Pebbles, the Avenue sticker sheet, there are some blue stickers. So while the texture paste is drying, and it does take a while, I'm wanting to work on this backed photo and see if I can get as much of my embellishments on while I'm waiting. Does that's just a little time-saving technique. So I'm using that beautiful sticker from the Avenue, and I've just put some dimensional adhesive behind it as well. What I do with chipboard when I'm not sure where it's going to go is I'll pull off that adhesive backing on it, and then just use my liquid adhesive to glue it down when I know where I want to put it. So that's a little tip, because once you commit to those chipboard pieces with the adhesive that they come with, it's pretty hard to move, and it'll probably damage your photo or your layout. So these are from Pink Fresh Days of Splendor. They are chipboard flare and they're absolutely adorable, and I do get a couple of them down, just distressing the edges of that tag now, and yeah, coming to put everything onto my layout, and I'll discover just by gently pressing on those snowflakes they're not quite dry. So at this point I've pulled out my heat gun and I'm doing it very gently, not for very long, because I really don't want to warp my paper. And another tip is you can heat the back side of your paper as well. So I'm happy now that it's dry enough. I still have to be careful when I'm working on this, but it's not going to be ruined if I don't know, press on it. So just using that little ruler again, I've been doing that lately just to make sure things end up straight. Especially handy if you put your background mats on unevenly, so then you can line up your photo. So I added a little house from that pebble sticker sheet just because the photo's taken at home. I think I've been doing that on a lot of layouts lately, because houses seem to be an icon or element that are in a lot of collections. And then I just cut apart one of these labels off that same marigold sheet, and I'm just wanting to use it because I find I have a lot of these left over, and I should really use them for layers and not just use them for journaling or for dates. So that little piece there, I can't quite see what it says, but it is from Days of Splendor. I tried really hard to get it onto this layout. I've cut that part out because it didn't make it really. It wasn't that exciting, but I think I tried about 3 times to get that down. I've added some blue and white striped twine to my tag, and I tie it in a bow, but later on I will decide to undo the bow and just have it just with the tails of the twine just in the normal position. So this little remember this sticker from Pink Fresh was perfect for the date, and so I've just put it at the bottom of the gesso, trying to have a little bit of separation sometimes between my photo and the elements, so that my pages don't all look the same, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah. I've got another piece of chipboard. It's a black heart, and I think it goes fine. It helps pull out the black elements on the pebbles sheet. Apologies if you can hear the building in the background. It sounds like sanding. Someone is building and sanding something, and I think I said in one of my last videos that every time I do a voiceover, there is something going on outside that's beyond my control. But anyway, just adding my journaling and a silver pen that I got from my local Spotlight. Just wanted that in silver to not be so bold as if I added it in gold, and I like how subtle it is. And now I'm just adding some splatters. I think it's my Delusions white ink, and drying that off. I did think about using enamel dots. Actually, I've just realised that the snowflakes don't come from that September kit. They come from the November kit, which is Christmas themed. And obviously here in New Zealand we don't have snow right down to the ground in summer, so I was glad to use these up. So that's my final layout. Do head on over to the Facebook group and play along. Thanks everyone for watching.